My boyfriend had a really close brother. Except this so-called brother was a woman, reeking of green to essence, despite her tomboyish exterior. My boyfriend Ethan was a pretty open guy. He was funny, not bad-looking, and played basketball well, making him quite popular in our department. I once asked him why he chose me. He ruffled my hair and grinned. Guess you just fit my vibe. Things were pretty good between us until my first birthday after we started dating. That's when he brought a girl. Ethan slung an arm around her shoulder, laughing warmly, and introduced her to me. Hey babe, this is Chloe. My good brother. Chloe extended a hand towards me, her eyes crinkling into a smile. Hi there, sis-in-law. I've heard Ethan talk about you so much. It's great to finally meet you in person. I offered a polite smile and took her hand. Hi. After a brief exchange of pleasantries, she wandered off to join Ethan's group of guy friends. It was obvious they were a tight-knit crew. I turned to Ethan, a question forming on my lips. You never mentioned you had a female friend you called your brother? Ethan chuckled, taking my hand and leading me to the sofa. Chloe's been hanging out with us since sophomore year of high school. Everyone just treats her like one of the guys. Honestly, a knot of discomfort tightened in my stomach. It was my birthday. Why was she dressed to the nines, flaunting herself like a peacock? From that day on, Chloe seemed to constantly orbit around my boyfriend. We had planned a casual evening stroll around campus, but I ended up waiting for him by the school gate for half an hour. I called him twice before he finally answered, a slight rush in his voice. Hey babe, I'm on my way. 2 minutes later he jogged up to me, slightly out of breath. Where were you? I asked, trying to keep my tone light. Chloe had really bad stomach cramps, he explained, wiping his forehead. She just called me asking me to pick up some brown sugar for her. Got held up for a bit. My brow furrowed. Didn't anyone else in her dorm help her? It's Saturday. Everyone else went out. The dorm supervisor brought her the hot water. Alright, that seemed reasonable enough. But then the next day she asked Ethan to the movies. Her reason? To thank him for bringing the brown sugar water the night before. That felt like pushing it. She batted her eyelashes, her smile wide and innocent. You don't mind, right, sis-in-law? It's that new movie that just came out. And Ethan's been wanting to see it for ages. Ethan, ever the oblivious one, casually put his arm around her shoulder again. Nah, your sis-in-law won't mind a little thing like that. I said nothing, my smile firmly fixed but feeling brittle. Ethan must have caught the look in my eyes, or perhaps sensed the shift in the air. He quickly tried to smooth things over. Tell you what, we'll just buy another ticket. The three of us can go together. Chloe looked slightly put out. Oh Ethan, tickets were so hard to get. I stayed up all night snagging these two. She then held the tickets out to me, a picture of false generosity. Maybe you and sis-in-law can go? I'll just head back. I waved a hand dismissively. Please, you pulled an all-nighter for those. You go. That kind of movie isn't really my thing anyway. You two enjoy. Ethan patted my head reassuringly. Alright then, you hang out with your friends today. I'll take you to a movie you like tomorrow. True to his word, Ethan bought tickets to a movie I actually wanted to see the next day. But barely 30 minutes into the film, he got a call and stepped out. He didn't come back until just before the credits rolled. Where did you go? I asked when he finally sat down. Chloe was feeling down, he said simply. I just stayed out there and talked to her for a bit. My face must have turned 3 shades of green. She was feeling down? Why did she need him? Didn't she have her own friends? Did he have any idea how long it had been since we'd gone to the movies, just the two of us? And he ditched me for an hour during our date? Ethan must have seen the storm brewing. He quickly pulled me into a hug, stroking my hair. I'm sorry, babe. My bad. It won't happen again. Even though I was fuming internally, he had apologized, and I wasn't in the mood to make a huge scene. If this happens again, I'm really going to lose it, I warned, holding him tightly. He patted my back. Promise it won't. I knew deep down that he couldn't keep that promise. I just didn't expect the next time to arrive quite so soon. The weather had been gloomy and rainy for days, so when the sun finally made an appearance, I suggested to Ethan that we go hiking. He agreed immediately and started packing a backpack. Maybe we should ask a few other people to join, he suggested casually. Might be more fun than just the two of us. I nodded. Yeah, okay. He opened his group chat and typed, hiking trip. Who's in? Chop chop. But when I saw that particular peacock's name pop up among the replies, my good mood evaporated instantly. I tugged on Ethan's arm, whispering, "Why is Chloe coming?" Ethan looked utterly innocent, hands up in a shrug. "I don't know. I just posted in the group chat." Chloe, ever the enthusiastic one, came bouncing over. "Hi, sis-in-law. Fancy meeting you here again." I managed a stiff smile and a nod. She didn't wait for an invitation, grabbing my arm and turning to the group of guys. "Okay, guys. You big strong men need to look out for sis-in-law and me, okay?" One of the guys chuckled. "Ethan's got sis-in-law covered. As for you, don't you eat 3 bowls of rice a day? Pretty sure you can look out for yourself." Chloe let go of me and playfully lunged after him, calling out, "You jerk! Don't you know how to talk to people? Say something nice." I knew that guy. His name was Liam. He always flashed a charming little tiger-toothed grin whenever he saw me on campus and called out, "Hi, sis-in-law." Once everyone had arrived, we set off. Chloe, tying her shoelaces, suddenly looked up. "Hey, Ethan. Let's race, okay? See who gets to the top first." Ethan turned to me, a questioning look in his eyes, clearly seeking my approval. Chloe quickly stuck her tongue out in a mock apology. "Oh, sorry, sis-in-law. I totally forgot you were here. We used to race all the time and I always lost. Really wanted to win just once today. Feeling pretty good." I wanted to scream. Seriously? With everyone watching, how could I possibly refuse without looking like a spoilsport? "No worries," I said, my voice deceptively calm, though inside I was mentally flipping tables. "You guys go ahead. I'll take my time." Chloe's smile widened genuinely this time. "Thanks, sis-in-law. Good luck." By the time I reached the halfway point, Ethan and Chloe were long gone. I swore silently that Ethan would be kneeling on a washboard tonight. But my legs were burning and I had to stop for a rest. A moment later, a slender, pale hand appeared in front of me, holding a bottle of water. I looked up and it was Liam, his eyes crinkled in a kind smile. "Here, sis-in-law. Have some water. Re-energize." I took the bottle, offering him a small smile. "Thanks, Liam." Liam dropped his backpack and collapsed beside me, groaning. "Man, this is exhausting. Seriously. Gotta rest a bit before going on." I laughed slightly. "You too?" I thought I was the only one lagging behind. Liam turned his head to look at me, his fringe damp and sticking softly to his forehead. He flashed his tiger-toothed grin. "Before I came, I thought I'd be the last one. Looks like sis-in-law holds that title now." I felt a blush creeping up my neck. "Hey, you can just call me Maya. Sis-in-law feels a little weird now." He nodded readily. "All right, Maya." Sure enough, when we finally reached the summit, everyone else had been there for ages. They were sitting around playing cards. As soon as he saw me, Ethan rushed over, overly solicitous, offering me water and snacks. As I sat down, Chloe immediately beckoned me over. "Come play cards with us, sis-in-law." I wasn't much of a card player, only knowing a basic game. They were playing a different game I didn't understand. Chloe smiled, dealing me a hand. "Don't worry, sis-in-law. Ethan can help you. It's mostly luck anyway." Reluctantly, I took the cards. To my surprise, my luck was actually pretty good. I won 4 hands in a row, accumulating a decent pile of money. For the last round, Chloe announced, "Sis-in-law, let's go head-to-head. Just you and me." I looked confused. Ethan explained, "She means you put all your winnings on the line. After everyone else plays their hands, Chloe plays against you with your total winnings. If she wins, she takes all your money. If you win, she has to pay you that exact amount." That sounded kind of exciting. I readily agreed. When the cards were revealed, my heart leaped into my throat. My hand was a bull 5. Chloe's was a bull 1. I saw a fleeting flicker of pure annoyance in her eyes before she masked it with a smile. Seeing it felt absolutely glorious. I counted my winnings. A total of 605. Chloe smiled, pulled out 605 from her bag, and handed it to me. "Wow, sis-in-law, you're amazing. And you said you didn't know how to play. You're totally a master." I wasn't deaf to the thinly veiled sarcasm in her voice, but I was too happy about winning to care. That night, back at the apartment while Ethan was taking a shower, his phone chimed. Out of idle curiosity, I glanced at the screen. It was a WeChat message from Chloe. Curiosity got the better of me, and I unlocked his phone. What I saw made me laugh, but not out of amusement. "Chloe, so broke RN. Can't even afford cigs. Ethan, that bad? Chloe, seriously, man. Got one cig left. Gotta make it last 2 days. Dying here. Ethan. Haha, Maya had some good luck with cards today. Chloe. Oh, well, it's fine as long as sis-in-law is happy. I'll just bum some cigs off someone else. Ethan, no need. Ethan sent 605 to Chloe. Ethan. Go buy some smokes. Chloe. Ethan the Great. Can't thank you enough. A large whiff of green tea. I pursed my lips. When Ethan came out of the bathroom towel drying his hair, I held up his phone. So judging by this, you just gave Chloe all the money I won tonight? Ethan paused, towel in hand. Are you upset? I laughed, the sound tight with anger. Shouldn't I be? It was just a game. Besides, you didn't lose anything, right? That 605 is in your WeChat wallet. Ethan, get this straight. She challenged me to that game. I won that money. It was mine. My voice was shaking with fury. Ethan's expression hardened slightly, a flicker of impatience crossing his face. He snatched the phone back. And it's still yours, isn't it? I didn't touch your money. I used my money. I clenched my fists so tightly my nails dug into my palms. So she lost and you just covered her losses? What exactly is your relationship with her that you need to do that? We're brothers. Ethan stated, his voice defensive. I scoffed, a cold laugh escaping my lips. Fine. You two can keep being best brothers. I'm out. With that, I grabbed my phone and stormed out. It was Ethan's apartment. His family had money, and he'd asked me to move in shortly after we became official. At the time, I thought it would be nice to be closer to him, so I agreed. Now, looking back, maybe getting involved with Ethan had been a bit too hasty. I was so annoyed. When I got back to my dorm late that night, my roommates were shocked. They immediately swarmed me, asking what was wrong and if we'd argued. I poured out the entire story about Chloe. Oh my god, a walking, talking man-hungry faker. Totally confirmed. Seriously? Sis, you've encountered something even worse than a green tea bitch. A tomboy bitch. And what was Ethan thinking? He didn't even try to stop you. Honestly, it all comes down to that. What's her name? Chloe? Yeah, that little vixen stirred the pot. Ethan. Maybe he's just too dense. My friends agreed that Ethan wasn't entirely unforgivable, and suggested ways to salvage the relationship. I listened to their advice, and the next morning I woke up early, packed some of his favorite steamed buns from the school cafeteria, and headed to his place, planning a surprise. The person who opened the door wasn't Ethan. It was that little vixen. She was wearing Ethan's shirt, her eyes still heavy with sleep. The top 2 buttons were undone, revealing a generous expanse of collarbone. My smile froze on my face. Oh hey sis-in-law. What are you doing here? Chloe asked, feigning surprise. Ethan's still asleep. Should I wake him? I scoffed, the sound hollow. Hopefully he stays asleep. Only the box of steamed buns in my hand stopped me from tearing her to shreds right then and there. I pushed past her and walked in, sitting on a chair and crossing my legs, waiting for Ethan. Sensing the sudden chill in the air, Chloe quickly scurried into the bedroom to wake him. Ethan emerged, still groggy and clearly annoyed at being woken up. What's with the noise so early? Chloe nudged him urgently. Ethan. It's sis-in-law. Maya. Ethan's eyes widened slightly in surprise. Maya. What are you doing here? I smiled, a tight, forced expression, and gestured to the breakfast box on the table. Just brought you some breakfast. Looks like I picked a bad time. Ethan rushed to explain. No, Maya, it's not like that. After you left yesterday, I felt really bad, you know? So I called the guys to come over and have some drinks. Chloe lives a bit far, so she just crashed here. Nothing happened, I swear. I nodded slowly. Right. And she's wearing your shirt. Looks good on her. Chloe gushed apologies, her face pale. Sis-in-law, you have to believe us. I drank too much and threw up all over my clothes. I didn't have anything to change into, so I borrowed Ethan's. Really, nothing happened. I stood up, crossing my arms over my chest. You drank too much, slept here overnight, and woke up wearing my boyfriend's shirt, and you expect me to believe nothing happened? You're truly shameless, Chloe. And you couldn't even handle losing money at cards? You're a pathetic sore loser. Maya. Ethan's voice was a low warning. Chloe shut her mouth, forcing a weak smile despite her pale face. I was wrong about the money. I'll pay Ethan back. Good grief, how could one person be so fake? Whether you pay him back or not is none of my business anymore, I said, my voice firm. I'm dumping Ethan. And as for the reason, I tilted my chin up, a slight smirk playing on my lips. I think you two are a perfect match. Hope you're very happy together. Don't inflict yourselves on anyone else. With that, I grabbed my bag and turned to leave. Chloe scrambled after me, still trying to explain. No, sis-in-law, it's really not what you think. Nothing happened between me and Ethan. Ethan? Say something. Ethan's voice was flat and cruel. Doesn't matter. We slept together anyway. I didn't lose anything. Hearing those words, I completely snapped. I spun around, staring at him. He was looking back, a mocking smirk on his face. I couldn't believe him. Quickly assessing the situation, he was a guy, I was a girl, and Chloe the little vixen was also here. Getting into a physical fight wasn't my best bet. So I turned back, opened the box of steamed buns, and pulled out the container of hot soup. I held it up, a sweet smile on my face. Ethan, I brought you breakfast. Even though we're breaking up, it was still a nice gesture. You should eat it. That smug, punchable look on Ethan's face widened into a sneer. The next second, his eyes went wide with disbelief. Splash! I dumped the entire bowl of hot soup over his head. Then I ran. I sprinted out of that apartment complex like my life depended on it, shouting my parting wish as I ran. A bitch and a dog made for each other. Hope you're happy forever. I burst out of the building and practically collided with Liam just outside. I couldn't stop myself, stumbling right into his arms. Liam caught me, looking bewildered. Maya? Where are you rushing off to? Running for my life. I scrambled out of his grasp and kept running without looking back. After about 2 minutes, I heard a car horn honk behind me. I thought Ethan was chasing me and ran even faster, my feet barely touching the ground. Then I heard Liam's voice call out. Maya! It's me. Where are you going? I'll give you a ride. I stopped and jumped into his car. He frowned, handing me a bottle of water. What happened with Ethan? I gulped down half the bottle in one go and told him everything. No way, Maya. You actually did that? You poured soup on his head. Liam burst out laughing when I finished. I shot him a glare. Don't laugh. I feel like I'm going to die. Do you think Ethan will kill me? Liam struggled to suppress his laughter, but his answer was immediate and deadpan. Oh yeah, totally. My glare intensified. But it's okay, he added quickly. I turned to look at him. He flashed his tiger-toothed grin and winked. If you call me big brother, I might consider protecting you. The word escaped my lips before I could think. Goo. My savior. Liam's smile was innocent and charming. He reached out and ruffled my hair. Good girl. It had been almost a week since I broke up with Ethan. Honestly, setting aside everything that happened, I did feel a pang of sadness and even missed him a little. Unable to resist, I opened his social media feed. Then I immediately wanted to throw my phone. Miss him? What was I thinking? He was having a blast, going clubbing, drinking, singing karaoke. This wouldn't do. I sprang out of bed, slapped on some makeup and changed clothes. I couldn't stay in my dorm room feeling sorry for myself. I'd turn into a moldy vegetable. I called up my friends and arranged to meet them at the mall. While waiting for them, wouldn't you know it, I ran right into Ethan and Chloe. I adjusted my sunglasses, planning to sneak past them and pretend I hadn't seen them. But Chloe spotted me. She waved enthusiastically. Hey, sis-in-law. I turned back, forcing a stiff smile. Don't call me that. I'm not your sis-in-law anymore. Chloe stuck her tongue out in a mock grimace. Oh right. I forgot. You and Ethan broke up. She paused, then let go of Ethan's arm, and ran over, grabbing mine. Maya, I admire you so much. You're the first person who ever dared to pour soup on Ethan's head. Seriously? How could anyone be so fake? Bringing up the most humiliating moment for Ethan. Right in front of him. I turned to look at Ethan. Just as I expected, his face was thunderous. I frowned and pulled my arm away from Chloe. Look, I don't like you. I'm telling you this clearly. So please stop acting like we're best friends. Chloe's smile faltered, freezing on her face. But I really wanted us to be good friends. Oh really? I leaned closer to her ear, my voice low and sharp. Is this how you make friends with me? Asking my boyfriend to the movies without me? Leaving me behind to invite him hiking? Trying to wheedle money out of him? Behind my back? Sleeping over at his place and wearing his shirt? Is that your definition of good friends? Chloe, Ethan might be clueless, but I'm not. Do you seriously have no self-awareness about how manipulative you are? I stepped back slightly, crossing my arms. Honestly, I should have packed 2 bowls of soup that day. One for that little vixen face of yours. Unbelievable. How could she still keep up the act? Before she could retort, Ethan strode forward, pulling her behind him in a fiercely protective stance. Maya, who do you think you're intimidating? Try bullying her again, I dare you. I scoffed a cold laugh. Oh look, I haven't even started bullying her yet. And you're already jumping to her defense? Ethan, I never realized you were such an idiot before. Say that again, he growled. Chloe reached out and clutched his sleeve. Ethan, I'm fine. Don't argue with Maya. I took off my sunglasses, watching their little performance. It was almost comical. Didn't I already say it? I smirked. A bitch and a dog. Hope you're happy forever. Ethan flinched, the insult hitting its mark. His face grew even darker. Chloe stepped out from behind him, glaring at me. Maya, Ethan and I are innocent. I've told you this over and over. You just refuse to believe it. How dare you slander us? Your words are disgusting. A crowd had started to gather around us, forming a circle. Everyone was watching, clearly enjoying the spectacle. I had no desire to waste any more words on them. I put my sunglasses back on and turned to leave, but a hand grabbed my arm. I turned back impatiently. It was Chloe, her grip surprisingly strong, digging into my skin. Are you insane? I snapped. Apologize, she demanded. Apologize to who? You? Or that Janan scumbag behind you? I retorted. Suddenly a heavy stinging blow landed on my face. A sharp slap across my cheek. I stared at Chloe in disbelief. She was looking back at me, chin high, a thinly veiled look of triumph in her eyes. I told you not to say disgusting things. My reaction was automatic. I slapped her back hard. A clear red handprint bloomed on her cheek instantly. Then, fueled by rage, I kicked her in the stomach. She stumbled back a couple of steps and Ethan caught her. You hit her. Ethan's eyebrows furrowed into a harsh line. I tied my hair back, ready for a fight. Yeah, I hit her. What about it? You dare touch me today? If I don't drop to the ground and milk this for everything I'm worth, leaving you so broke you can't even afford pants, then today's my bad. Chloe, red-faced with anger, tried to lunge at me again, but my friends arrived just then. Seeing them, she stopped, glaring, but didn't advance further. The standoff lasted for a tense moment before Ethan pulled her away. As he left, he shot me a look that was hard to decipher. After they were gone, I bent down and carefully picked up my sunglasses, my heart aching. Those were brand new. Cost me $100. That night, as I put a cold compress on my face to reduce the swelling, I realized just how hard Chloe had slapped me. Really stung. That little vixen definitely went all out. I should have hit her with both hands, I grumbled to my roommate. Smashed her face. My roommate laughed. Come on, Maya, that slap you gave her didn't look light either. You could see the finger marks on her face clear as day. Exactly, another friend chimed in. And you got a good kick in too. You totally won. I sighed. My phone buzzed. I answered with one hand. It was Liam. Heard you got into a fight with Chloe? I rolled my eyes. It wasn't a fight, just exchanged a couple of slaps. Oh, and I kicked her. I totally came out ahead. A hint of amusement colored his voice. Wanna grab a late-night snack? I'm outside the school gate. Nah, not feeling it. Ethan's here too. And his new girlfriend. My lips curved into a sudden smile. Be right there. A week after we broke up? And he already had a new girlfriend? Seriously? I quickly threw on some makeup, grabbed a tank top and shorts and headed out. When I arrived, they were just starting to eat. The atmosphere turned awkward as soon as they saw me. I walked over confidently and sat down next to Liam. I scanned the table. Some familiar faces and one girl I didn't recognize. Must be Ethan's new girlfriend. I opened a bottle of beer and smiled at the girl. Hi, I'm Maya. I'm your boyfriend's ex. The girl glanced at me, then at Ethan, her expression unreadable. Chloe piped up, her voice dripping with sarcasm. Sour grapes, much? Some people really have no shame. Don't know what outsiders are doing at our little group get-together. I chuckled, turning back to the new girlfriend. See? She says you're an outsider. The girl's face tightened. Chloe quickly backpedaled. No, I wasn't talking about you, sis-in-law. I meant her. You're not an outsider. The girl took a moment to compose herself, then took a sip of her drink. Chloe told me about you. Since you've broken up, maybe you should just move on from Ethan. We were just having a casual get-together for supper tonight. Maybe you should leave. I nodded. She was right. I shouldn't intrude. But, oh right, I said, pouring myself a drink and clinking glasses with Liam. Ethan probably hasn't told you why we broke up, has he? Let me fill you in. Enough, Maya. Ethan growled, his voice low. I smiled sweetly. His good brother, the one sitting right next to you, Chloe, stayed over at his place one night. Wore his shirt to answer the door for me. After we broke up, this jerk said, doesn't matter. We slept together anyway, I didn't lose anything. So sis, speaking from experience, you might want to keep an eye on what's happening right under your nose. You never know when you might get blindsided. The new girlfriend stood up, glared at Ethan and Chloe, grabbed her bag and walked out. Ethan's face was a beautiful shade of purple and red. Are you happy now? He asked, his voice icy. I grinned, showing a little too much teeth. Ecstatic. Mission accomplished. I hummed a little tune and stood up to leave. Liam stood up too. I'll walk you out. He looked around the table, a knowing smile playing on his lips. After all, you're the one I invited. Walking about 200 meters away, I was still a little confused. I couldn't help but ask, aren't you Ethan's good friend? Why did you call me? And why are you taking me back to the dorms? Aren't you worried about falling out with Ethan? Liam acted like he hadn't heard me. He took off his jacket and draped it over my shoulders. It's a bit chilly tonight. Why are you wearing so little? Answer me. I swatted his arm playfully. He chuckled. Mainly, I just thought you were a bit pathetic. Thanks. Destroying Ethan's potential new relationship put me in a great mood for the next couple of days. Life without the little vixen and the scumbag felt a lot lighter. Even the air seemed fresher. Maya, someone's looking for you downstairs. I had just gotten into bed for a facial massage when someone called my name from outside the dorm. I was surprised. Who would be looking for me this late? I went downstairs. A tall figure was standing by the entrance, head bowed, scrolling on his phone. Liam. Liam looked up, raising an eyebrow. Wanna go to karaoke? What for? He smiled. My birthday. Give me 5 minutes. I'll put on some makeup. Liam caught my wrist, his smile soft and light. Why bother? You look good without makeup too. His smile was so brilliant it swept me off my feet. So I went out barefaced. There weren't many people at the karaoke place, just 3 or 4 others, so I felt pretty comfortable singing. However, just as I finished my second song, the scumbag and the little vixen walked in. The little vixen spotted me immediately and asked Liam in a ridiculously loud voice. Who's that? Liam, is that a new friend? She looks familiar. Oh my god, isn't that Maya? I reflexively covered my face. I'd completely forgotten they were friends. Of course they'd show up for his birthday. Crap, I was careless. They got the first strike. Liam's brow furrowed slightly. You guys. Before he could finish, the little vixen opened a bottle of beer and clinked glasses with him. Happy birthday, Liam. Just saw old host's social media post. Didn't know it was your birthday. You're not being fair, not telling me. Ethan glanced at me, then nodded to Liam. Happy birthday. I wanted to hide in the bathroom, but the little vixen wouldn't leave me alone. She grabbed my arm again. Maya, your dark circles are so bad. You can never tell normally. What concealer do you use? You should recommend it to me. And your false eyelashes are glued on so well. You can never tell your real lashes are so short. She then turned, innocent as ever, to Ethan. Ethan, you've seen Maya without makeup, right? Are her dark circles really that bad when she takes it off? Are her real lashes really this short? I couldn't hold back. I grabbed the glass of beer on the table and splashed it directly into her face. Her eyes widened in shock and she shrieked. What are you doing? I put the glass down and looked her up and down. Wow, your makeup holds up well. Didn't even budge. What brand is it? You should recommend it to me. I dare to go out without makeup. Do you? You don't, so stop acting so innocent. Want to go to the bathroom and take yours off? We can compare whose lashes are shorter when you come out. The little vixen was on the verge of a meltdown. Ethan grabbed a tissue from the table and offered it to her, but she slapped his hand away. Instead, she turned on Liam, yelling, Liam, Why are you friends with this Janrun bitch? She's Ethan's ex-girlfriend. We're your friends, your brothers. What is she? It's her or me today. One of us has to go. What a ridiculous idiot. I rolled my eyes. Fine, I'll just. Liam raised an eyebrow. His voice was soft, yet incredibly cold and dismissive. What exactly do you think you are to me? The little vixen was stunned into silence for a second before bursting into tears and running out. Ethan shot Liam a look. That was a bit much. Then he went after her. I stood there dumbfounded. The way the story was unfolding felt a little strange. What was that about? I asked, sitting back down. Liam poured me a drink. She might be Ethan's precious little thing, but she's nothing to me. Besides, you're the one I invited. Who does someone crashing the party think they are, trying to bully you? Well, that threw me off completely. I turned to him. Are you trying to make a move on me? He froze for a second, then burst out laughing, flashing his tiger teeth. Thinking too much, sis. Oh? I don't date older women. Seriously? I wanted to pull out a 50-meter sword. But secretly I felt a wave of relief. If Liam had actually said he wanted to date me, I wouldn't have known what to do. I thought that would be the end of it. But that little vixen, Chloe, wasn't done. She charged up to my dorm room, screaming insults, calling me shameless, a homewrecker, a bitch. Her voice was so loud the entire building could probably hear her. I reached out, grabbed her arm and dragged her inside. After a chaotic struggle, I finally pieced together what happened. Liam had gotten into a fight with Ethan. Because of me. But Liam didn't even like me, did he? Why would he fight Ethan over me? Don't flatter yourself. Chloe spat, tied to a chair. It was because you made Sarah so angry she left that night. And Ethan was sticking up for me. It had nothing to do with you. Then why are you calling me shameless? Liam calls you and you just go? You made Ethan and Sarah break up. Aren't you a homewrecker? And you caused them to fight. Aren't you a bitch? I laughed. Then the person who caused me and Ethan to break up was you, right? Does that make you a homewrecker? Chloe fell silent, glaring at me furiously. I had tied her to a chair with a jump rope. How dare she come to my dorm alone? Today I was definitely going to hit her with both hands and smash that face of hers. After dealing with Chloe for the moment, I pulled out my phone and called Liam. Where are you? Tiani bar. Another bar. I grabbed a taxi and headed straight there. When I arrived, Liam had already had quite a bit to drink. He was alone. I grabbed the bottle from his hand. He looked at me blearily for a long moment, then smiled. Maya. I sighed and sat down. He leaned his head on my shoulder. Why did you fight Ethan? He insulted you. What did he say? He said, you were used up trash. Now I wanted to hit Ethan myself. But it's okay. Liam suddenly lifted his head and leaned closer. The sudden proximity made my heart skip a beat. He grinned. I already taught him a lesson for you. I won. Looking at his face, which was already bruised, but hearing him say he won, I couldn't help but reach out and stroke his hair. Okay. You won. You're the best. Hearing my praise, he seemed satisfied and buried his head into my chest. Liam, where do you think you're putting your head? It was a massive struggle to get Liam back to a hotel, and another struggle to get him onto the bed. Seeing him sprawled out like that, I wanted to tear my hair out. Why did I make that stupid phone call? I checked my phone. It was already 10:30. I needed to get back to the dorms quickly. I gently nudged Liam's foot. I'm heading back. Get some rest. Liam suddenly sat up, looking utterly adorable as he whined. Sis, stay and sleep with me? He pouted at me, looking so wronged. He was this cute? Was this what they called a puppy boyfriend? I vigorously rubbed his hair. Liam kept trying to keep me there for so long that I missed my dorm curfew. Since I'd only booked a single room, I ended up sleeping awkwardly on the single sofa, leaning against the back. When I woke up the next day, I was in the bed. Liam was gone. There were messages from him on WeChat. Liam, got you breakfast on the table. Remember to eat it. Liam, sleep in if you're still tired. I told the front desk. Liam, last night. Thanks, sis, smiley face. He'd bought bread and milk. I didn't really like them, but I was starving. To my surprise, despite getting her comeuppance and a lesson, the little vixen remained persistent. At a school mixer, she was standing with Ethan's group, smiling brighter than the flowers. I rolled my eyes, not wanting to engage with her, and tried to pull my roommate away to leave. But the little vixen clearly saw me. She somehow gathered a group of guys from another school and walked towards me, smiling sweetly. "Everyone. This is the social butterfly of our school. You should really seize the opportunity." That disgusting creature. She wasn't going to ruin my reputation. I raised an eyebrow, ready to fight back. "Don't say that, Chloe. You're clearly much better at socializing than me. How else could you thrive so well surrounded by a bunch of guys?" She laughed. "I'm different from you. We're all brothers." I stood up. I was half a head taller than Chloe, and standing gave me more presence. "Brothers? Have you shared underwear? Or shared a bed?" Her face faltered, losing some of its composure. I pressed my advantage. "Those are things brothers do, right? What's wrong? You haven't done that? Then how can you call yourselves brothers? Or, have you done it?" The next second, she lifted the cup of wine in her hand and threw it at my face. I was pretty sure this little vixen just wanted to throw a drink at me, looking for an excuse to get revenge for last time. But her plan failed. Liam stepped in from behind me and pulled me back. Chloe's throw missed completely, and her face looked like she'd eaten something truly foul. Did I hit a nerve? Getting angry, I mocked. She rolled up her sleeves, ready to charge at me. Not backing down, I took off my jacket. In the end, Ethan grabbed Chloe and Liam grabbed me, preventing a full-blown catfight. Loser. If we'd actually fought, I would have ripped out every single one of her fake hair extensions. After the mixer ended, I stood on the rooftop, letting the wind blow over me. Liam's voice came from behind me. "Maya, I just realized you're pretty hardcore." I sniffed dismissively. If you hadn't pulled me back today, I would have shown her what ruthless looks like. I wouldn't be named Maya if I didn't rip out those few hairs of hers. He chuckled. "I always thought you were a little rabbit. Now I see you're more of a cat, and one that gets riled up easily." He smiled, his eyes crinkling at the corners, filled with amusement. A strange feeling bubbled up inside me, tickling my heart like a feather. It was a feeling I'd never experienced when I was with Ethan. I turned my head away, feeling a little awkward. Since it was senior year, I had thesis work and papers to focus on, and I quickly pushed those incidents to the back of my mind. After graduation, Liam helped me a lot with finding a job and an apartment. He gradually became a good friend and we grew closer. My new company was quite far from where I was living. I was complaining to Liam about the commute when he mentioned he happened to have an empty apartment near my office that I could check out. He said it wasn't expensive. I eagerly went to take a look, figuring there was no harm in just seeing it. And then I didn't want to leave. The apartment was perfect, great natural light, lovely decor, and a convenient location. I was completely smitten. Me, little brother Liam. "How much is rent for this place a month?" "I love the decor." Liam, "If you like it, sis, just live there. My dad bought it, and it's just sitting empty anyway." Me begging for sponsorship. Liam, "Sis, I don't date older women." I dropped my phone and flopped onto the soft bed. Life was truly wonderful. But operating on the principle of not taking advantage, I still transferred money to Liam. Me sent $5,000 to Liam. Me gave you market price. Hope it's enough. Liam, not enough. Add at least 3 zeros. Me, I'll punch you. Liam, haha, okay, I'll hold on to this for you then. Company work kept me swamped every day, leaving me exhausted. When I got home, I didn't want to move an inch. I collapsed on the sofa and fell asleep. Somewhere in my hazy sleep, I felt someone lift me up in their arms. The next day was a holiday and I slept until noon. I was making instant noodles when the door opened. My heart leaped. I quickly grabbed a knife from the kitchen and crept out along the wall, only to see Liam standing at the door, holding bags in both hands, looking at me with a confused expression. I put the knife back in the kitchen. Right. Liam was the landlord. Of course he had a key. Liam chuckled slightly. "Maya, have you gotten this aggressive now?" I took the bags from him. "What's all this?" Liam ruffled my hair. "Stuff for you. Toiletries, snacks, things you need." I clutched my phone. "I don't have any money left." Liam walked past me, sat on the sofa, and turned on the TV. "I know. Didn't ask for money. This is charity." I grinned and took the bags to my room. Generosity of the elder will repay as an ox or horse in the next life. Liam laughed. Then his expression turned slightly serious. "Remember Ethan?" I put the bags down. "Yeah. He went to jail." "What?" Why? That surprised me. Ethan's family had money, didn't they? Why would he go to jail? Didn't his dad help him? Come here, sit down. Liam called me over. Confused but obedient, I went and sat on the sofa. He got involved with the wrong crowd later on. Started hanging out with some sketchy people doing illegal stuff. Got caught. The person who reported him apparently had connections in the police force. His dad couldn't do anything about it. I nodded. Didn't really have anything to do with me anymore. And Chloe. Oh, Chloe I was still interested in. Chloe went to jail too? Nah, not jail. But she was too close to Ethan. That group of people roughed her up pretty bad. Heard she left the area after that. I leaned back on the sofa, marveling at how fast time flew. It had been over a year already. Suddenly, Liam flipped over and pinned me down on the sofa, propping himself up with his hands, his eyes narrowed slightly. So sis, are you still thinking about Ethan now? What are you talking about? I haven't thought about him in ages. I see you checking his social media updates every now and then. That was to see if he'd gotten beat up so I could go visit him in the hospital. Is that right? I always thought you were still hung up on him. You're overthinking it, kid. I pushed him away and tried to sit up, but Liam grabbed my hand and yanked me into his arms. Sis, I want to make a move on you. His voice was soft and gentle. Heat rushed to my face. I pushed him away again. Didn't you say you didn't like older women? Liam grinned, revealing his tiger teeth. Yeah, and I was born in '93. I'm older than you. Was this guy playing dumb the whole time? Maya, you're living in my place now. Where do you think you're going to run? He slowly leaned closer, his lips near mine. A faint minty scent wafted from him, and I felt my senses swim. Liam. His beautiful eyes curved upwards, full of laughter. You're crushing my foot. Get off. It's gone numb. He froze for a second, then quickly scrambled back. I jumped up and ran into the bedroom, locking the door. A series of smooth, rapid movements. My heart was pounding in my chest. I took a deep breath. Careless. I almost crossed the line. I started avoiding Liam. No other reason than I wasn't ready yet. After staying at the dorms for 3 days, Liam finally cornered me in the cafeteria. He leaned against a table, arms crossed. I gave a weak, awkward laugh. What a coincidence. He smiled. Not a coincidence. I was specifically waiting for you. The rent's paid, you know. Might as well move back. After all, it's not very good for my image to have to ambush you every day, is it? What do you think? I thought he was threatening me and I had the evidence. I sat stubbornly in my chair, refusing to move. He stayed leaning against the table, showing no sign of leaving. After a long standoff, he sighed softly, bent down, and leaned close to my ear. I was too hasty, Maya. Can we take things slow? Okay. I was silent for a moment, then finally relented. Okay. From that moment I said okay. Liam went out of his way to make me happy every day. He picked me up and dropped me off from work, brought me bubble tea every afternoon and cooked dinner waiting for me at home. As soon as I opened the door, he'd be standing there wearing an apron, the dishes ready. Wash up and eat. I put down my bag. Your office isn't that close. How are you here every day? He blinked, feigning innocence. Wanted to see you more. I narrowed my eyes. I think you have the potential to be a player. With that, I picked up the water cup beside me, opened the lid and aimed it at Liam. I'm gonna call you something. Do you dare to answer? He shook his head, a helpless smile on his face. I continued. Little grandson. Liam looked at me, then stood on one foot, spreading his arms wide. Your grandpa is here. I burst out laughing. Maybe. If there was someone who was willing to be silly and crazy with me, someone who just smiled while I made a fuss, maybe that wouldn't be so bad after all. Liam, let's try this. Okay. The end.